Pope Francis canceled a scheduled public appearance in Rome today, a goodwill visit to a hospital very close to the Vatican. Hello, I'm Ron Claiborne in New York, and while papal staff and the Pope Mobile were all set, as were staffers and patients at the hospital when word came down that Pope Francis would not be making the short trip to Catholic University of the Sacred Heart in Gemelli Hospital. Now, Vatican officials said the 77-year-old Pontiff was suddenly indisposed. Sources say that he was fatigued. This is now the fourth event that the Pope has canceled so far just this year. You see there Cardinal Angelo Scola, who you see is attending the event in place of the Pope. He said in his words, quote, "We all send Pope Francis a large embrace so that he can get over his indisposition fast." Hours later, Vatican officials released a brief statement that said that Pope Francis would keep his schedule this coming weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, which includes a number of private meetings on Saturday. That statement went on to say, quote, "There are no reasons to be concerned about the health of the Pope." Still, questions remain, and joining us now with some answers is ABC's Rome Bureau Chief Phoebe Dayton, who's been covering the Pope or popes for a number of years. Phoebe, what is the latest that the Vatican officials are saying about the Pope's health right now?
They are saying that basically he will continue with his schedule this weekend and that there should be no reason for concern at this point. Basically, there have been some sort of unsourced comments coming from the Vatican area saying that he is very tired, very fatigued from a very difficult, busy last few months.
Is it your impression, Phoebe, though, that the Vatican officials were really surprised about this last-minute cancellation?
Yes, everything was scheduled to go ahead with this visit this afternoon. The Pope Mobile was there, people were there, and initially it was said that his arrival was delayed, but then quite apparently it was obvious that he wasn't coming and they had to invent something new. But everybody seemed to have been caught by surprise, especially the papal officials who had gathered at the Gemelli Hospital waiting for the Pope this afternoon.
Phoebe, just to be clear, the Pope did say Mass or attend another event earlier today, this same day, is that correct?
Yes, he had done his daily Mass at the Santa Marta residence where he lives, and he had gone ahead and met with 3 cardinals in the morning, and that was announced by the Vatican press office. And in fact, the Vatican press office had expected and was preparing his homily for the Gemelli Mass, but then they had to announce that Cardinal Scola would be reading it in his place.
Now, just reading the written statements from the English-speaking Vatican spokesman there, Father Lombardi, tonally it sounds like they're not that concerned. Am I reading that correctly or incorrectly, do you think?
Yeah, I've spoken to a number of people at the Vatican and they don't seem to be taking it very seriously. They know he has had a very busy schedule. They know that he's going to slow down a bit next month when he won't be doing his weekly Wednesday audiences. And I think there's a certain amount of relief that he is going to take it a little bit slower in the next coming months, because he really is very active, very energetic, and keeps on having incredible amounts of appointments and meetings throughout the week.
But in the larger context here, Phoebe, there have been a number of these cancellations, a number of people saying that the Pope does not look well. Is there a sense of a growing concern about his schedule and his health?
I think as we continue to see him put so much energy into every event he does and every ceremony, I think people are starting to notice he walks badly. He's seems to be getting heavier. He has difficulty with steps, and he seems a bit out of breath at times. So yes, the concern is growing. Certainly during the Holy Land trip, people started to talk about it. And I think in the Vatican, people have come to him and said, "You've got to slow down." And maybe he finally will.
Okay, and you've seen this Pope over the years, since he's been Pope, a couple of years, and as a Cardinal in the last year or so. To you, does it look like he is frailer or in less robust health than he has been?
He doesn't look frail, but he does look like he's tiring. And he certainly puts in so much time to every public event. I mean, his public Wednesday audiences don't go on for an hour like Pope Benedict's used to. They go on for hours. And he gives so much of his time to people who come to see him that I think people are starting to realize that he can't keep on at this pace for the next few years.
And a little bit of background there. This Pope, when he was a young man, lost a lung to disease, correct? So this is a older gentleman with one lung. It's got to be stressful.
He lost a part of a lung, because I think a lot of people have reported one lung, but it is not correct. He lost a part of a lung, but obviously it does mean that his breathing could be affected, and there have been reports that he's had a recurring bronchitis.
In this country, the president has an annual physical, and the public is informed of the results of that physical. Anything like that with the Pope? What do we know officially about the state of his health?
We basically know these few things, like he lost a part of his lung, but that came out after he was elected. No, you don't know very much about the Cardinal's health or a Pope's health, as we saw with Pope John Paul II, when we were told very little and we could all see that he was ailing. But no, we certainly don't get a report about the Pope's health and have no way of knowing if he's getting better or worse in any way.
Okay, ABC's Phoebe Nathanson reporting from Rome. Thank you very much for that. And again, to recap, Pope Francis canceling a scheduled public appearance in Rome today. The explanation given by the Vatican was that he was suddenly indisposed. Sources saying that the Pope was fatigued. But again, a statement coming out from the Vatican just a short while ago saying that there are no reasons to be concerned about the health of the Pope and that he is expected to maintain his schedule over this weekend. This has been an ABC News coverage of Pope Francis. Keep up with the story in real time by downloading the ABC News app and starring this story for exclusive updates on the go. For now, I'm Ron Claiborne in New York.